What's up, everybody? My name is Del. This is Del on Movies. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you've been here before, thanks for hanging out with me again. And today we have my final haul of 2023. So I think I picked up some great stuff and I'm looking forward to showing it to you. So I'm not going to waste any more time. We'll talk about where I got it, how I got it, and all that stuff as I'm doing it. And the first thing that I'm going to talk about is what I got from this place right here. That is Target, of course. I had a gift card from Target and grabbed a couple of things with that. The first thing is we had to finish getting superhero movies because that's what I do. And so I picked up this copy of Blue Beetle 4K. It was on sale, actually. I think it was down to 24 for the 4K. I think it was like some 24, maybe 25. So I got the Blue Beetle. Good movie. I did enjoy it. And then I'm not known as a double dipper, but I did double dip for this one because I have a digibook, Blu Ray digibook of this movie that I'm going to keep. But I had to get the 4K. I heard a few of you just raving about how great it looked. And I'm going to go see the newer version of this movie this weekend coming up. So that is the color purple. So this one, had to grab this one and see what it looks like. It's supposed to be a great transfer. So I'm looking forward to watching that before I go to the theaters this weekend to see the color purple. Next up, I got a couple of things from Walmart.com. They didn't have them in stores, so I did get them from their website. And that is in here. Not going to show you the other side. It's got my personal stuff that I don't want to show you. Cut into that. You can tell where the disc starts, so I'm not really worried about that. I might cut up the receipt. The first one, guys, it's a movie that I honestly didn't know was on Blu-ray. I thought it was just on DVD for all this time, and I was looking to upgrade for it, to upgrade my DVD copy for a really long time, and I'm able to do that. So of course, I would not be surprised if next week there's a 4K announcement for this movie, but I'm gonna stick with the Blu-ray that I just picked up for Aquila and the Bee. Fantastic movie. One of my favorites when it comes to family movies. If you haven't seen Aquila and the Bee, check it out. So I really enjoyed that. And the other thing is something I was not really aware that it was on Blu-ray either. Is a show I used to watch as a kid. I don't get much TV stuff. Most of the TV stuff I get is superhero related. This is no exception. This is a show I watched as a kid. You know, I grew up in the era of Adam West Batman on in syndication running every day. So I watched that after school. Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno. Wonder Woman, of course, Linda Carter. Nicholas Hammond as Spider-Man even. And this is a show I also grew up with that I haven't really talked about much. And it doesn't get talked about a lot at all. But it is Shazam. This is the complete series of Shazam. So I had to get my hands on that one, and we're gonna. It's been so long since I've seen this show. I really can't tell you a whole lot about it, other than he traveled around in an RV, and him and his mentor, and to every time he had to turn into, well, technically Captain Marvel was the character's name back then. Every time he had to turn into Captain Marvel, he would come outside of the RV and stand right outside and yell Shazam, and then we get the puff of smoke and the lightning, and he'd be standing there as Shazam, well, different person, but it was definitely one of my favorite shows to watch as a kid. So I'm looking forward to diving back in and seeing just how good it is. I'm sure it's goofy and campy, but I'm gonna have a blast with this anyway. Finally, guys, I found a new used bookstore in my area. I was just out and about and just figured, you know what? I don't have anything to do right this moment. Let's see if there's anywhere near me where I can buy some movies. And, you do the whole Google Maps thing, search for a place. And this place came up. It's called Reader's Corner. It's here in Raleigh, North Carolina is where it is. And so I pulled it up. It wasn't too far from me, so I drove over there. I get there, and I was prepared to be disappointed. You'll see a picture of the outside of the place, but the whole place is really it's not that big. And one of the pictures you can see, by the way, it'll have a little bin outside the store that had some DVDs in it that they were selling for, I think, 25 cents. Nothing was in there that I wanted, but just interesting little side note. But as I walked in, I was prepared to be really disappointed because The entire place is barely bigger than a, gas station convenience store, and not a huge one, like a average size one, not one of those big ones that, like sheets, not even like sheets or anything. It was smaller than the sheets, and I didn't see any movies at all. Even though, like I said, when I searched for it, it said they had movies, and walked around. Staff was not far off. They greeted me. They said hi, but didn't really ask me any questions or anything. So that's cool. And they had a little section that had some Christmas things in it, Christmas movies and music, Christmas CDs. It was really a CD section, and just had in one section marked Christmas, and it had some movies in it. That's a better way to put it. Nothing in there I wanted, though they did have a 4K of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action one. I just bought the Blu-ray for that a couple weeks ago, last week I think. But anyway, walked around to the other side of that, and they had a couple of end caps with DVDs on it, and there was one DVD in there I thought about getting, and I probably should have, thinking about it now. It was a Stormy Weather movie with Lena Horne. And maybe if I go back, if it's still there, I'll get it. But I didn't, and looked over to my right, and on, not quite on the end cap, they had another bookshelf. It was just one bookshelf, a small one, not a big one, that had some Blu-rays on it, Blu-rays and a couple 4Ks, even though I couldn't tell that till I got close to it. And these were, I mean, it might have been 100, 150 on this bookshelf. And so I was like, if this is it, then I probably won't find anything, but let's go take a look anyway. And much to my surprise, I came back with this bag and a whole stack of stuff. So let's talk about what I grabbed out of that bin. And the first thing is something else, another one movie that I've been looking for on Blu-ray for a while because I just didn't have it. I had to have it on DVD, but this is going to replace that, and that is White Men Can't Jump. And you can see this was actually $10, so the prices were a little high compared to other used bookstores that I've been to. So that was a bit disappointing, but I did find some good stuff, starting with White Men Can't Jump. And the next thing was this movie, a childhood favorite of mine, and that is the Neverending Story. Side note, a month or two ago, I picked up Neverending Story Part 2 from Big Lots, so this will go nicely with that. And probably the biggest find is this next movie just came out on 4K not that long ago, and I got it in 4K from them. $20 for Oppenheimer with the slipcover. In my area, they've been sold out for a while, except for I think Barnes and Nobles had some. They're running $30-$35 for, and no slipcover. And I'm not a slipcover fanatic, but if the option's there to get it, why not? So I got it for half the price, pretty much, and with the slip. And I mean, it's in immaculate shape, so no problem there. It's going to get more messed up sitting on my shelf than it was there. And interesting note, when I got to the register to pay, the guy looked at my stack. It was two people, a guy and a girl back there, and the guy looks at my stack and goes, "Oh, somebody finally bought the Oppenheimer." And I was like, "What's going on with that?" And he just said that they had it a couple weeks, and every day they come in expecting somebody to buy it. So I was the one that bought it. Next is a remake to one of my favorite vampire movies of all time. This one is not as good in my opinion, but it's still pretty solid, and that's the Fright Night, I think 2011. Anton Yelchin in it, Chris Farrell, Colin Farrell. Why did I call him Chris Farrell? I have no idea. But anyway, so pick that one up. And then these last two were my biggest surprise finds. There was one more that I didn't get. The one I didn't get was a steelbook of the jazz singer, the silent movie from, is it this? I don't know, one of the first talkies from back in the day. And they just wanted a little too much for it. So that's another one where, maybe if I go back another time, I might pick that up. But I didn't. I came away with a couple of digibooks, actually. And the first one is this classic right here with Clark Gable, Mutiny on the Bounty. and I had not seen this one, so I'm really looking forward to check it out. And as you can see, again, this stuff was in really good shape. It's probably gonna get more messed up, like I said, just sitting on my shelf, and just to get all the pictures in there, and you got some good stuff going. Some small articles looks like, and I'm not gonna go through all the pictures. The disc back here, and finally, the last thing I picked up was another digibook, and this one is for All About Eve, which I have seen and is a fantastic movie. And I'm so glad to have found this one. I've seen it on DVD a few times in my area, and well, a lot of times actually, just never picked it up. I was hoping to come across a Blu-ray at some point, so I was really happy to come across a digibook. And there's one of the open first shots is a great shot there of light got in my eyes, guys. Great shot of Betty Davis because the light is right there. But yeah, we got some articles here, and of course, when we get to the end, there's the disc. Lots of articles in this one. Usually, a lot of digibooks that I see are just pictures only, but this one has a lot of things to read in it. So, hey, this is Editing Dell right here. And I know the other Dell, he just told you that we did not get the Jazz Singer Steelbook. So here's what happened. I actually was in the same area again, and I decided to swing back by, and there it was. There was the Steelbook for the Jazz Singer, so I did pick it up. And if you're not familiar with this movie, it is the first talkie that it was ever released, ever created, as far as we know. And I'm pretty sure it won Best Picture. Not 100% sure on that one. And I also know that it is a very problematic movie. So there are some, from what I understand, I've never seen this movie, but from what I understand, there is some racism and racist imagery in this movie. I've never seen it, so I do want to see it, just to see what it is. Because one thing about me is that movies that are deemed outright racist, or just racist things from the past, I kind of do want to see, just to see exactly what was going on in there, and that I understand what was actually on the screen before I have outrage against it. So I'm not saying that as an reason to say, oh, I'm gonna love the Jazz Singer, because that's probably not the case, to be honest with you. But I am gonna watch it and figure it out, and figure out if I liked it, if I didn't, and how racist is it, if it's racist at all. So I'm gonna check it out. But since I do have the Steelbook, it is a very nice Steelbook actually. So I do want to show that off real quick, guys. There's the front, and basically it looks like the movie poster. And there's the back, which you probably got a glimpse of. And it has all the credits down here. And opening it up on the inside, there's Al Jolson there. As you can see, this was an overseas release from the stickers over here. Not stickers, but it's printed on the disc there, but there is the disc. And popping it out, there is the other side. So, with that said, we're going to send it back to the other Dell. There you have it, guys. That's everything that I picked up while I was out and about these last few days, and my last haul of 2023. Thank you to everybody who watched my channel at even one time during 2023, including if this is your first time seeing me, if you're watching this video is your first time seeing me. And I hope you guys all had a great holiday season. It's the day after Christmas if you're watching it the day I put it out. So hope you had a great Christmas and have a happy new year coming up. And hopefully we'll do big things in 2024. That's all I have for you on this one. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Bye.